In this edition of DIY Bamboo, we're going to make a holiday ornament out of a piece of bamboo pole, and this makes one heck of a handmade holiday gift. Alright, let's run down the materials you're going to need real quick. You're going to need some bamboo. This is a bamboo pole about 3 1/4 inch in diameter. I got this at Cali Bamboo, and if you tell them you saw this video, they'll send you one. So you'll also need a saw to cut it, and I use this box here to cut a little straighter. You're going to need some Mod Podge to slap on the whole thing when it's done to preserve it. You're going to need some twine, some ribbon or string to hang your ornament, a couple of real small screw eyes, a knife, a Sharpie, a paintbrush, some scissors, and I've got an assortment of paper here. I've got a silver shimmer, I've got a gold shimmer, I've even got this bamboo veneer here we're going to try and use and see if we can get an interesting look with that. And then for the backing, I'm just using cardboard, keeping in the eco theme of things here. I just pulled that right out of the recycler. And last but not least, you're going to need a photograph of a handsome young fellow or beautiful young lass. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our saw and we're going to put our bamboo in the box here and start and cut a nice ring of bamboo out of this thing. About 3/4 to an inch wide. I've already started cutting this one, so let's go ahead and finish it. You can also use a fine grit sandpaper to just take the sharp edge off the bamboo. Alright, the next thing we're going to want to do is take our ring and transfer the shape of the ring onto our backer. And we can use the Sharpie to do that. And you can cut it out with scissors or X-Acto blade if you want. Check for proper fit. All right, now that we have our backing cut and put in, let's go ahead and do try out one of our fancy papers here. So you're going to want to actually mark it on the back side so that you don't see it when you cut it out with the knife. All right. Now we've got our backer and our cardboard. Yeah, and that fits pretty snug. Alright, now we're going to want to cut our picture in a circle format. And I noticed that this cap on this Mod Podge is actually pretty much the right size for our picture. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that on the photo. And trace around. Good. Alright, so the next thing we'll do is we'll glue this thing up. We'll take some of our Mod Podge here, take our paintbrush. You want to put the cardboard kind of in the middle of the ring so it has a little bit of room on either side. And then you just paint the Mod Podge in, give it a nice coat. Don't worry about over painting because we're just going to cover the whole thing in Mod Podge after this is done. And then we take our fancy paper, put a coat of Mod Podge on the back of that. This stuff is pretty much Elmer's glue. Drop that guy in. Alright. Squeeze it together a little bit. Then you can go ahead and put some Mod Podge on your photograph. Set that right down in the middle. Alright, now we'll wait a few minutes and we'll let that dry. We'll see how it turns out, and then we'll go ahead and do a coat around the whole thing to kind of preserve it. We'll write the date on the back side and put a coat of Mod Podge over that so we know what date we made it. And we shall return. Well, alright, once your Mod Podge dries, and I apologize, I was calling it Mod Podge the whole time. Once that dries, you're ready to do the final step, which is installing the screw eye. So we're going to take a drill, and you're going to pre-drill a hole because this bamboo tends to split along the grain like this if you're not careful. So real carefully, we're going to find the center. I'm going to drill into that stuff, and then we're going to take our screw eye, just very carefully, whoops, going to twist it in. All right, now that that's installed, take our piece of twine, and tie our string. And there we have it. Ho Ho Holiday Bamboo Ornament.